Most people don't come to me because they need another diet. They come because they've run out of hope. Maybe that's where you are today. You've counted calories, you've cut carbs, you've joined gyms, you bought meal plans, you've started over more Mondays than you can remember. And somewhere along the way, the question changed. It stopped being, which diet should I try? And became, what's wrong with me? If that's where you are, I'm really glad you're here. Welcome to Over 40 and Done with Diets. I'm Coach Neil, founder of PHDSynergy. If you're over 40 and tired of information overload, frustrated because what used to work doesn't seem to work anymore, or wondering if lasting change is even possible, you are exactly who I created this podcast for. Before we talk nutrition, before we talk about exercise, before we talk about your metabolism, there's one thing I want you to hear very clearly. You are not broken. I'm going to say that again. You are not broken. Your body's been faithfully responding to the signals it's been receiving. That's very different because if your body has learned one set of signals, it can learn another. That means change is possible. That's the foundation of everything we'll talk about together. Around here, you'll hear me use a phrase over and over, metabolic momentum. It's the name of our signature coaching program, but it's much more than that. It's a way of thinking. Most people chase motivation. I want to help you build momentum because motivation comes and goes. Momentum carries you on the days motivation never even shows up. And here's the good news. Momentum doesn't begin with huge changes. It begins with one faithful decision, then another, then another. That's why this podcast isn't about perfection. Perfection is interference. Momentum is built through faithful consistency, one ordinary Tuesday at a time. One of the first things I ask a new coaching client usually surprises them. I don't ask, what did you eat for breakfast? I ask, tell me what life has been like lately. Because your body experiences much more than just food. It experiences stress, sleep, relationships, movement, joy, loss, recovery, everything. Your body is constantly gathering information from the life that you're living. That's why you'll hear another phrase pretty often. Your body is always listening. It's listening to your nutrition. It's listening to your sleep. It's listening to your activity, to your stress. Every day your body asks one simple question. Am I safe? That single question explains more about your health than most people even realize. When your body constantly receives signals that resources are scarce, that stress never ends, that recovery never comes, it begins to adapt. Not because it's working against you, but because it's actually working for you to protect you. Your body isn't stubborn. Your body is faithful. I like to picture it as a faithful employee. An employee doesn't decide the direction of the company. The employee follows instructions. Your body does the same thing. It faithfully carries out the instructions given it. So instead of getting angry at the employee, let's improve the instructions. That's where one of my favorite coaching principles comes in. It's called the Reductionist Principle. Before we ask what to add, let's ask what's getting in the way. Let's start by removing the interference. Maybe that interference is poor sleep. Maybe it's constant snacking. Maybe it's information overload. Maybe it's perfectionism. Maybe it's believing that you can't succeed. Whatever it is, our first job isn't adding more. It's removing what keeps your body from doing what it already knows how to do. That's what we do together. We remove the interference. We send better signals. We build metabolic momentum. One of the biggest shifts I hope you make during our time together is this. Stop asking, how do I lose weight? And start asking, what is my body trying to tell me? That one question can change your entire health journey. Think about the dashboard of your car. When the check engine light comes on, you don't cover it with a piece of tape and pretend the problem is already solved. At least I hope you don't. The light isn't the problem. The light is communicating that there's something under the hood that needs your attention. Our bodies work much the same way. Weight gain can be a signal. Fatigue can be a signal. Brain fog can be a signal. Constant cravings, it's a signal. Poor sleep is a signal. They're real. They matter. But they may not be the root problem. They're the dashboard. They're the check engine light. Our job isn't to silence the dashboard. Our job is to understand what it's trying to tell us. That's why curiosity is such an important part of coaching. Curiosity asks, I wonder what's happening. Now, shame would say, I must be the problem. Curiosity leads to understanding. Shame leads to giving up. I choose curiosity every single time. If I were sitting together with you over a cup of coffee right now, I wouldn't immediately slide a meal plan across the table and say, here you go. I'd probably ask another question. Tell me what a normal Tuesday looks like. Not your perfect Tuesday, your real Tuesday. The one with the early alarm, with the commute, the meetings, the family responsibilities, the unexpected interruptions. Because that's where transformation has to live. Not on vacation, not during a 30-day challenge, on an ordinary Tuesday. If a health plan only works when life is perfect, it's not a very good plan. Real health has to survive real life. That's why I don't coach perfection, I coach consistency. One of the books that profoundly shaped the way I think taught me that small decisions, repeated consistently, creates extraordinary results over time. I found that to be true in almost every area of life. Your marriage, your finances, your faith, your career, your health. Most people are looking for the breakthrough, the quantum leap. I'm looking for the next faithful step, because that's how momentum is built. Think about pushing a heavy flywheel. The first push barely moves. The second doesn't seem much different. Neither does the third. And if you judge your progress too early, you'd probably quit. You'd say, this isn't working. But keep pushing. Keep pushing. Eventually, something changes. That flywheel begins to help you. Now every push builds on the one before it. That's metabolic momentum. The first protein-rich meal probably won't change your life. The first walk after dinner won't magically transform your health. The first night of great sleep won't erase years of exhaustion. But they were never meant to stand alone. They were meant to stack. Healthy signal upon healthy signal upon healthy signal. Until one day you realize you're no longer forcing healthy choices. You're simply living by them. That's the destination, not perfect eating. Not perfect workouts, not perfect discipline. A life where taking care of yourself just becomes normal. Where stewardship replaces self-punishment. Where understanding replaces confusion. Where hope replaces shame. That's the life I want for you, and I truly believe it's possible. Not because we're extraordinary, but because your body is wonderfully designed to respond when we consistently remove the interference and begin sending better signals. Remember, your body isn't waiting for perfection. It's waiting for consistency. Now, let's make this practical. Because if you've listened to me for the last few minutes and you walk away just with information, well, I've failed you. Information alone rarely changes lives. Application does. So I want to leave you with one simple challenge. Not 10, not 20, just one. For the next 7 days, choose one meal each day and make protein your priority. That's it. Don't worry about making every meal perfect. Don't try to overhaul your entire kitchen. Don't announce to the world that you're starting over. Just choose one meal. Maybe it's eggs for breakfast. Maybe it's Greek yogurt and berries. Maybe it's some grilled chicken at lunch, or steak, fish, turkey, or some other high-quality protein at dinner. The specific food matters less than the signal you're sending. Remember, your body is always listening. Every time you choose nourishment over impulse, you're sending a signal. Every time you prioritize recovery, instead of trying to squeeze in one more hour of work, you're sending a signal. Every time you take a walk after dinner, instead of collapsing under the couch, you're sending a signal. And those signals accumulate. They're like votes. One vote doesn't decide an election, but thousands of votes do. One healthy choice won't define your future. Thousands of healthy choices will. That's why I don't ask clients, did you have a perfect day? Instead, I ask, what healthy signals did you send today? Now notice how different that feels. Instead of ending the day with guilt, you're ending the day with awareness. Instead of focusing on what went wrong, you begin noticing what went right. That's not positive thinking, that's accurate thinking. Because progress deserves to be noticed. In fact, I want you to begin celebrating victories that never show up on the bathroom scale. Did you sleep better this week? Celebrate that. Did your afternoon energy improve? Celebrate that. Did you feel satisfied after a meal instead of constantly searching for a snack? Celebrate that. Did you choose a walk even when you didn't feel like it? Celebrate that too. Those victories matter. Sometimes they appear weeks before the scale ever starts moving. And if you're only measuring that one outcome, you'll miss the dozens of signals that your body is already responding to you. Think of a farmer. A farmer doesn't panic because he can't see a harvest the day after he planted a seed. He keeps watering, he keeps tending the soil, he keeps removing weeds. He trusts that healthy growth is happening even when he can't see it yet. Your health is the same way. Your responsibility isn't to force results. Your responsibility is to faithfully create the conditions where results can grow. Remove the interference. Send better signals. Trust the process. Build metabolic momentum, one ordinary Tuesday at a time. Before we finish, I want to tell you something that I hope stays with you long after this episode is over. My goal isn't to make you dependent on me. It's to help you become confident enough that one day you won't need me. Now, don't misunderstand what I mean. I hope you'll keep listening to the podcast. I hope you'll continue learning. And I hope, if it's the right fit, that you'll join our Metabolic Momentum coaching program. But real coaching isn't about creating dependency. Real coaching creates confidence and it empowers you. If all I do is hand you another meal plan, I've only helped you for a little while. But if I teach you how your body works and responds, if I help you recognize the signals that it's sending, if I can teach you how to remove the interference, then you'll be able to make wise decisions long after this episode is over. That's the kind of coach I want to be. I don't want to stand at the finish line shouting instructions back at you. I want to walk beside you until you can confidently walk that path yourself. Because that's what someone did for me. And I believe it's one of the greatest gifts we can give another person. Understanding, not confusion. Confidence, not fear. Hope, not shame. As we wrap up our time together, I want to leave you with one final picture. Imagine you're standing at a fork in the road. The path on the right doesn't look very exciting. There are no flashy promises, no dramatic before and after photos, no claims that you'll lose 30 pounds in 30 days. Just one small sign that reads, "One faithful step." The path on the left looks much more exciting. Big promises, quick fixes, shiny shortcuts. You've probably walked that road before. I know I have. It always promises more than it delivers. The road we're taking together is different. It's quieter, steadier, more ordinary. And because it's ordinary, it's sustainable. It's built for real people with real jobs, real families, real stress, and real lives. It's built for ordinary Tuesdays. Because ordinary Tuesdays become extraordinary lives. Not overnight, but over time. So today, don't worry about next month. Don't worry about losing 50 pounds. Don't worry about becoming a different person by Friday. Just ask yourself one question. What's the next healthy signal I can send my body today? And then do it. And tomorrow, ask it again. Then the next day, Ask it again. One question, one healthy signal, one faithful decision. That's how metabolic momentum is built. I'm Coach Neil, and I want to thank you for trusting me with your time today. If this episode encouraged you, I'd love for you to follow the podcast and share it with someone who's tired of starting over. And if you're ready to go deeper, visit PHDSynergy.com. There you'll find free resources, practical tools, and information about our Metabolic Momentum coaching program, where we help adults over 40 remove the interference, send better signals, and build lasting health. Next week, we're going to tackle one of the biggest obstacles to better health: information overload. Why does every expert seem to disagree? How do you know who to trust? And how do you build confidence instead of confusion? We'll walk through those questions together. Until then, remember, your body isn't broken. Your body is always listening. So today, send it a better signal. I'll see you next time.